Hi, welcome to MediatorPodcast.com, a podcast and video series about mediation, negotiation, and collaboration. My name is Melissa Gragg, and I provide online valuation, divorce, and mediation services in St. Louis, Missouri. Today, we're going to discuss an important topic, divorce, mediation, and grief, and why healing is important with Karen Millon. Karen is the founder of Healin, Healin with no G. She's an experienced entrepreneur in the healthcare space. She is a transformational coach. She's also host of the Healin podcast and author of An Amazing Divorce. We see people kind of skipping over this process. So why do you think that people do that? They skip it over it either pre-divorce or even like everything's done and they should be like, all their friends are like, you should be so happy, right? Now you can go out, you can mingle, and they're still sad. And they're still mourning that loss, but they can't recognize it. So why do you think they just skip that healing process? Is it just that they didn't know, or is it hard?
Melissa, we are experts at repression. Freud said this many years ago, especially men, they're not allowed to cry. The minute they start crying when they're 4, 5, and 6, stop being a sissy, stop being a this, stop being a girl. Like, don't cry, don't cry. So many of us grew up with parents who, are you going to cry now? Is that what you're going to do? Are you crying now? Are you crying now? Like, we as a society, we're not allowed to cry. Crying is not something that you're proud about. That's not something that, for sure, at work, I always say, never cry at work,
Right.
Hold on your tears. So it's really, really hard. We are also masters at, no one wants to feel sad. No one wants to feel things. No one wants to introspect. We are masters at even knowing if we had a difficult childhood, or if something happened that wasn't ideal, or we were bullied, or our parents worked too much, or our parents were alcoholics, or we were raised by a single parent. And a lot of that made us who we are today. And so we think that was good for us, and it toughened us up, and we survived. But what helped us today is not going to help us going forward. And we carry it as a badge of honor. I used to be very aware that my father worked too much and had a disease that he doesn't remember my childhood very much. And so I told that, my ex knew that, I knew that, but I never felt that. I never felt how sad it was for me to go through that. I have clients who grew up with a single mother, male clients, who at the age of 10, they had to cook and clean and help and set up their own lunches and do it all. And then they go ahead and they marry someone that they're bringing in the income. They're extremely successful. They're cooking, they're cleaning, they're doing it all. And it's exhausting. And just because you've done it till you're 40 doesn't mean that it's what you should do and that it really sucked for you and that it was really hard for you. So we either carry it as a badge of honor or we put Band-Aids on it. We medicate it, right? And there's good Band-Aids and bad Band-Aids. Good Band-Aids are alcohol, the most common one. I mean, I have a whole statue, like, we're having a hard time, we get divorced, let's drink. Some people do drugs or pot or just to repress and not to feel. And believe it or not, a good Band-Aid is exercise and yoga and meditation, which are great for you and something I do almost every day, but they're still Band-Aids because they're not healing your issue. They're not going at the core of your anxiety, at the core of your sadness, at the core of your failure, at the core of your rejection. So they're all Band-Aids. But why do we skip it? Is because we've been extremely well trained to skip our pain, to not cry, to not feel. So the modalities that I did, like EMDR and all the modalities that I talk about on the podcast, are modalities that help you feel it so that you can heal it.